Hey, hello there, replayers. Tom Rigsby here from TomRigsby.com. Thanks for joining me. My name is Tom Rigsby. I'm the host of a 5-day-a-week podcast called 7 Minutes in the Morning. Hey, Lauren, thanks for joining. You get to watch me record an episode. I'm going to Cosmo Cornbread. That is an awesome name. I like cornbread, and Cosmo is kind of interesting. Bussies, hey, thanks for joining me. So, again, my name's Tom Rigsby. Let me try and get the light here so it's not washing me out too bad. Hang on one second. There we go. That'll help a little bit. 5-day-a-week podcast, 7 minutes in the morning. You get to listen to me record it live. I'm ready to go. So here we go. It's actually going to be called, whatever I titled this Periscope, something about thinking too big. But just stand by. Listen, and then tell me what you think. Don't forget, if you want to swipe to the left or swipe up and invite your friends, that would be awesome. We like that. If you like anything that you hear during the show, just a little tap on the screen. Tap, tap, tap. Puts a couple of those hearts up on the screen. We like those too. Those are like digital applause. Lets us know we're talking about the right stuff. All right. Okay, so I'm going to be looking over here because that's where my recording stuff is, but I'll come back over here, and hit you as often as I can. And with that, we're going to get started. Hey there, folks. Good morning and welcome. My name is Tom Rigsby, and this is 7 Minutes in the Morning, where you get your daily dose from me, your coach. Today, I want to talk to you about thinking too big. Is that possible? Actually, you get to see the real thing in as it goes here. I'm going to stop that and start that over because, as I do every once in a while, I have the settings set incorrectly. All right, here we go. This time it's going to work. Hey there, folks. Good morning and welcome. My name is Tom Rigsby, and this is 7 Minutes in the Morning, where you get your daily dose from me, your coach. Today, I want to talk to you about thinking too big. Is it possible to think too big? Now, most people would say, no, Tom, it's not possible to think too big. In fact, you are one who's told me to think bigger. And in fact, that is true. I'm a big fan of the big, hairy, audacious goal. And that's a big thinking plan, a big thinking goal. But this idea really comes from our quote today, which comes from literally maybe one of the smartest people to ever live, Albert Einstein. And Einstein said, if you cannot explain it to a 6-year-old, then you don't understand it yourself. And, I was looking for a story or a quote or something that kind of went along with this theme of thinking too big. And so I'm going to pull a very personal story and share it with you. If you've been a fan of the show or listening for any amount of time, you know that a few years ago, our youngest daughter had a pretty bad car accident. She was hurt. She's much better now, but she is dealing with some of the fallout of that, some of the residual pain from the damage that was done during the car wreck. And she had been very frustrated with the progress or lack of progress that the doctors had been able to make in relieving her of some of that pain. And so just this week, in fact, we went to the doctor again and got another opinion again. And it's been a little bit better this week. She's finally gotten a doctor that she actually is happy with, that feels like she knows what she's talking, that she's explaining. When she says the pain runs down my leg and bounces off the floor, the doctor actually gets it. And he's given her some medication to help quell some of that pain. Here's the thing about thinking too big. In fact, I was talking to her right before I started recording this. And she told me that it's really hard to think about a short-term gain when this great big problem, this huge problem, feels like it's still out in front of me. She's 22 years old and literally has the rest of her life in front of her. I guess we all do, literally, right? She's got a long life, hopefully a long life ahead of her, and it's very frustrating to her to have to think about dealing with this pain for the rest of her life. And, so because she's frustrated by it, she just doesn't deal with it. And that then frustrates her dad, who wants her to feel better. But so let's bring this back around to me and you. Sometimes we can look at a task and think, no, that's just too big. I need to do something else. In fact, I was listening to another Periscope by one of my favorite scopers earlier today, Jessica Brown over at Upgrade to Awesome. And she was talking about the very same thing, how we can distract ourselves from what we really need to do by doing, a little busy work, because what we really need to do seems so big. And so when something looks really big like that, we have this tendency to say, I'm not going to do it. I can't engage that right now. I'll never be successful in that. And so we just don't. So here's my encouragement to you. You can. Just like my daughter, right? She is now feeling some relief in the short term, which has given her new hope, right? She now feels like it might actually get better at some point. So now she's more interested in going back to the doctor and getting a result. If you create some short-term goals, I actually talked about this at lunch today. What a common theme today. When you look at a big goal, I want to make $100,000 this year. Wow, that's a lot, and that can seem really big, right? But if you break that down, and that's whatever that works out to be, a little over $8,000 a month, that's not as big. You break that down even further, it's $2,000 a week. That's getting closer to doable, and then you just keep going until you get a goal that's within grasp. Now that's half of it. That's only halfway there. The other half is once you get there, you have to celebrate, right? If you put this big, hairy, audacious goal out, I'm making $100,000 this year. And when I get there, I'll celebrate. What happens if you don't make it? Well, you don't get to celebrate. You don't cross the finish line. You don't get the reward that encourages you to keep going. So as you break these down into smaller bites, I would also encourage you, reward yourself when you hit those milestones. It's those rewards, those interim rewards that occur on the way to your big, hairy, audacious goal that are going to keep that motivation coming. Remember, I or any number of people might inspire you, but only you can motivate you, right? And so you have to find your why and use that as your motivation. And when that why seems really, really big and you seem really, really small, it can be hard to use it for motivation. That's why you have to break it down into smaller bits and celebrate the successes of achieving those smaller bits. So we all know knowing is not enough. Success requires action. So here's your action step for today. I want you to write down on a little card. I actually have a whole stack of them here on my desk now. These happen to be pink, and I like the pink ones. On the 3x5 card, a sticky, whatever's convenient for you, something you can fold up and put in your pocket. I want you to write one sentence, and one sentence only, your big, hairy, audacious goal. It can be make $100,000. It can be have 2,000 followers. It can be whatever you want it to be. But you have to write it down. And then flip that card over on the back, and I want you to write at least five, get that in the camera, at least 5 interim milestones to that big, hairy, audacious goal. At least 5. I would love to hear what your big, hairy, audacious goal is, what your 5 milestones are, and what you're going to do to celebrate when you get that first one. You can hit me up on Twitter at Tom Rigsby. You can find this podcast on 7minutesinthemorning.com. Go down to the comments and leave your comment there. Let me know what that goal is, and let me know what those interim steps are. Love to have you follow me on Twitter, connect with me on Facebook. You can find all of those connections and just pick the one that suits you the best. You can connect with me in all of them. I will answer you back. But more importantly, choose the one that works for you. I'm in Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, on the web, email, all over the place, literally. Hey, there's Lauren. Lauren, you hang on. As soon as I finish this podcast, we will talk. So that's going to be it for today. Connect with me in one of those venues. I'd love to hear from you. That's at on the website at tomrigsby.com. All right? So remember, what is your big, hairy, audacious goal? What are the 5 steps that are going to get you there? I'd love to hear those either from you, however you want to do that. All right, so until tomorrow, my name is Tom Rigsby. This is 7 Minutes in the Morning. I want you to go out there and have a great, great day. All right, so Periscopers, replayers, everybody, thanks for joining me. I enjoy doing this and enjoy having you there and getting that encouragement. You can connect with me also at tomrigsby.com or on Twitter at Tom Rigsby, ThomRigsby. I'll be back again tomorrow with a brand new scope.